At the Camp Nou, their opposition are Jose Luis Mendilibar's Osasuna, who kick off in 16th, 2 points above the relegation zone. They were out of form. They'd lost their previous 3 games. Barca, of course, are on course to win the league. They're 8 points clear of Real Madrid. 6 games to go, including this one. As you can see, Valencia have a 15-point lead over Athletic Bilbao in 5th. As we say, a victory in this, and they're guaranteed a top 4 finish this season. Commentary team at the Mestalla, Terry Gibson and Kevin Kittings.
Perez Lassa, tonight's referee at the Mestalla Stadium. Nice touch from Valencia as the players came out to form a corridor of honour for the recently crowned Copa del Rey winners, Real Madrid. Well, quite a gulf in terms of points between these two. It may be second against third, but Real Madrid kick off on 77 points, 14 ahead of Valencia in third. And importantly, Real Madrid 8 points behind Barcelona. And only 5 rounds of matches to go after this weekend. Valencia in their traditional white, so Real Madrid forced into a change of shirt. Unai Emery, who has overseen a good run of form lately for Valencia. Won their last 3 games, scoring 12 times in the process. Really cementing, Terry, their place in the 3rd automatic Champions League place. There's a lot to do for Villarreal, 6 points behind Valencia at the moment.
Yes, they've been in fantastic form. They've responded well to being knocked out of the Champions League by Schalke. 3 straight wins in the league currently, and they've clearly cemented their place in 3rd above Villarreal, who are still contesting the Europa League. But Valencia, we look at this match this afternoon as a challenge. They're playing a much changed Real Madrid team. A couple of ex-Real Madrid players in the Valencia lineup, Soldado and Mata. As always, we'll be looking to try and prove a point. It should make for an entertaining game. 9 changes Jose Mourinho has made from the team that started the cup final win over Barcelona. Only Casillas and Carvalho remain. Carvalho will be suspended for the first leg against Barcelona at the Bernabeu on Wednesday. This Valencia side is unchanged from the team that won handsomely 3-0 at Almeria last week. And certainly a team with goals in it. Look out for one unfamiliar name in the Real Madrid back four, Nacho at left back. Not a bad substitutes bench, just in case. Ronaldo, Xabi Alonso, Ozil, Pepe, Marcelo amongst those subs. There's a good chance today, Kevin, for some of the players that haven't had an awful lot of playing time, like Canales and Kaká in attacking positions for Real Madrid. Good chance for Higuain to get some playing time under his belt after his injury. Benzema will start, and Sana Diarra recovering from an injury that's kept him out for 2 or 3 weeks. So it should be a motivated Real Madrid team. Of course, places up for grabs. Carvalho suspended midweek for the Champions League match against Barcelona. So this will be a motivated and spirited Real Madrid team, as you'd expect any team that Jose Mourinho puts out.
Yes, certainly Raul Albiol and Garay will hope to get the nod. Whether he moves Pepe out of that defensive midfield role on Wednesday, that's going to be an interesting conundrum for Mourinho, because Pepe's done well in that role since Mourinho shoved him into midfield controversially, and Mourinho has received some criticism for it. His defensive mindset, but he certainly knows how to win a trophy, Terry. 18th in his managerial career.
And there's no chance whatsoever that Pepe is not going to play in central midfield I think it's shown the success he's had in the 2 games against Barcelona, 2 matches and extra time in one of those, and only conceded a penalty in the 2 games. Not many teams do that against Barcelona. In fact, in the press in Spain, they're saying he's found a vaccine to stop Messi and Barcelona. You certainly can't deny that he's much improved from the first match in November, the 5-0 defeat.
Well, that is why Jose Mourinho is one of world football's greatest coaches. Completed 4 domestic cups on Wednesday night. Cup winner in Portugal, England, Italy and now Spain.
It's good to see him on the edge of the technical area there, because if he sat on the bench all afternoon and showed a little bit of disinterest, the players that are playing today might just pick up on that from the manager. He does sit there quite a lot on the bench nowadays. He's not always out patrolling the technical area, but I think he's sending a message out today to the players that are playing. This is still important to him, and particularly to those players that are playing for Real Madrid this afternoon.
Here's Mata. It's a good cover by the young left-back Nacho. That's a lovely looking ball, picks out Benzema. And still Karim Benzema forces the corner out of Miguel. Chance to see both Benzema and Higuain paired as a partnership.
Very interesting to see how they do it, as well as Canales and the player taking the corner, Kaka. This could be identified as probably a reserve team for Real Madrid. Still some team, by the way.
Kaka in the reserves. Guaita with the firm punch clear. There's Diarra. By Garay. Diarra. Real Madrid players celebrated into the very small hours of Thursday morning, that Copa del Rey success back in the capital. One player in particular rather overdid the celebrations when Sergio Ramos played dropsy with the Copa del Rey trophy, and the bus they were travelling on ran over it. This is a good run from Kaka. Squares up Stankevicius. Ricocheted away off the Lithuanian, and out for another Real Madrid corner.
It's not much change from Real Madrid. 11 having the better of the early stages of this game, rather negative from Valencia. I thought they would really have a go at this Real Madrid side this afternoon, be positive. Right, at the moment it's Real Madrid on the front foot.
Easy take for Guaita. Good to see him back in the Valencia goal after the tragic story of his father dying at the young age of 46. It's really been a breakthrough season for the 23-year-old Valencia keeper. Yet another really high-quality goalkeeper. Spain produced them at such regular intervals. He's really done well this season. Keeping out the veteran, Cesar Sanchez, who whilst Guaita was away on compassionate leave, became the oldest goalkeeper ever in La Liga. And he played against Getafe. Almost a route through there for Valencia.
Guaita was very much the third choice, wasn't he, at the start of the season. Cesar Moya, injuries and loss of form, give him his chance.
Positive build-up this from Real Madrid, fed in by Benzema. Chance on here. And Valencia managed to escape. They were queuing up for a moment there, Real Madrid. Granero had the best chance, and somehow Real Madrid were kept out.
It's good Granero with the first opportunity. Benzema cuts the ball back intelligently, finds the spare man. Rebound, good block by Mehmet Topal. The rebound goes to Canales. And he still can't force away past the Valencia defence.
It looked like Canales' follow-up shot struck his own man Granero, and that was certainly bound for the net. I don't think Guaita would have had a chance. It's a good challenge by Lassana Diarra. There's Higuain. That's an equally good challenge there by Eva Banega. Real Madrid have made a bright start here in the opening 10 minutes. Succession of corners.
Challenge there from Eva Banega. A fair one though. That's Lassana Diarra to win the ball back for Real Madrid high up the pitch.
Referee with the whistle in favour of Valencia.
Higuain eventually with the attempt. Carvalho with the infringement against Eva Banega there from the set piece.
Even if Real Madrid were to win all of their remaining 6 games, and that's quite an ask given that they got this game tonight and still to go to Villarreal and Sevilla before the season's end. Even if they did take a maximum 18 points, Barcelona would only need to take 10 from their last 6 matches to secure a 3rd successive title. It's only a matter of when rather than if Barca get over the line. Barcelona play Osasuna at home this weekend. Interesting to see what side Guardiola puts out at the Camp Nou ahead of the first leg of the Champions League semi.
I don't think he can afford as many changes as Jose Mourinho can. The squad has a lot more depth at Real Madrid. Some of these players playing tonight played very little football this season. Canales, Kaká, Granero has featured on a lot of occasions as a substitute. Garay hasn't made many starts in the first team, and they don't play reserve football, so for a whole season the likes of Canales and Garay have just been sitting on the bench doing their training and waiting for an opportunity.
And a full league debut for the left back Nacho. He did play as a substitute last May, came off the bench in the home win against Osasuna. He's also figured in the Copa del Rey against Levante in January. Starting a game tonight. 20 years old, Nacho. Poor ball out, they just haven't got started, Valencia. Granero. Challenge deemed to have been a fair one by the referee Perez Lassa. But Banega got the initial challenge in, now his pass finds Mathieu. Mata. Jeremy Mathieu again. Challenge from Diarra. Referee had a good view and said it was clean. Benzema. Poor ball, not for any scope there to Higuain. Real Madrid were 2-0 winners over Valencia earlier in the season. Cristiano Ronaldo got both the goals that evening. Little part, Terry, of Ronaldo wanting to be out there tonight. He's got this race on to finish top of the Pichichi with Messi.
Wouldn't be surprised, Kevin, at some stage we will see him as well. What's interesting for me, Kevin, is this Valencia team, 3 straight wins, they've scored 12 goals in those matches. As soon as they face a Real Madrid team, it's by no means their strongest 11. They're still playing with fear, and it's a problem that Unai Emery has to resolve. He since he's been at Valencia, his record against the top teams hasn't been good. It's been very poor. And I'm surprised to see Valencia playing in a nervous fashion. They're not keeping the ball, they're retreating far too quickly. Real Madrid have had the better of the opening 14-15 minutes.
Well, they look the away side, Valencia, from what we've seen up to now. Pablo, heading Mata, looks for Soldado. First glimmer of an opening for a striker in red-hot form. Roberto Soldado began his career coming up through the ranks at Real Madrid. Tonight will be a big game for him. 7 goals in the last 3 games. It was Garay who got across to make the interception. Eva Banega with a corner. Here, Soldado didn't time the volley and he throws his head back in frustration. Knows that was a chance, Roberto Soldado. Questionable marking from Real Madrid from the Banega corner.
Yeah, well rehearsed technique from the corner. So they're able to find a lot of space. From his skill level, you'd expect him to be getting a good strike on that, getting it on target. Missed opportunity for Valencia.
Suddenly woken up, forward by Topal. Never looked like reaching the run of Mata. Miguel. Banega. Forward nicely here. It's well worked by Valencia. Full stretch. Casillas to pour that one away. Been a very good last 3 or 4 minutes for Valencia after that slow start.
Finally woken up from their slumber. Emery was saying pre-match before the game that he was worried. There we see a searching cross, decent save from Casillas. Driven across at pace, right across the 6-yard box. Pablo Hernandez, decent deflection from Casillas, but Emery was saying he always finds it difficult when he's not sure who he's playing against to set up his tactics. And I think today he might have just broken that habit for once and concentrating on his own team, who are in fine form, scoring lots of goals. I do get the sense from Emery that he is an anxious coach, he's a warrior. He was very worried that he didn't know how to plan for this game because he wasn't sure the lineup of Real Madrid.
Forward distribution there from Ricardo Carvalho. Had a very good game in the cup final, which was very much a story of 2 halves. Real Madrid dominated the first, Barcelona came back strongly in the second. Real Madrid were thankful for 3 or 4 top-class saves from Iker Casillas to take it into extra time. And a hair's breadth offside decision against Pedro when he found the back of the net. Sets it up beautifully for the 2-leg Champions League semi-final. Here's Kaká, lovely balance until he eventually lost his feet, and he looked like he was going to get a cross in. There's a trouble here for Mathieu.
Not sure if that is an attempt to get a penalty from Kaká, but he showed good pace, as you say, good balance. It was aware the ball was running out of play. He does fall down rather easily. I think slightly embarrassed to even appeal for the penalty there.
Statistic that was particularly noticeable after the 1-0 win in the Cup on Wednesday. That was Real Madrid's 14th clean sheet in the last 21 games in all competitions. Certainly a good platform to pull from, isn't it? Only 7 goals conceded in the last 21 games.
They do have 1 or 2 players that can pop up with a goal or 2 as well, don't they?
Yeah. You're always in with a chance with those stats. That was disappointing. Real Madrid didn't spring the run there. This is Granero. Clearly manhandled by Ricardo Costa.
It was only going to end up one decision, wasn't it? Ricardo Costa was like a dog with a bone there. He wasn't letting go of Granero. Granero was well aware of that, was determined not to pass the ball, keep the ball, try and get the better of Costa, but ended up a free kick on the halfway line.
Here's Kaká. Good movement here and onside. Benzema crashes back off the bar with Guaita beaten. Really good attempt from Karim Benzema.
It was a brilliant attempt. Good passing from Kaká, good movement from Benzema. The player who's in confidence, strikes it with such power. Flashes past Guaita, could do nothing about it. He's grateful that it hits the crossbar. Awful defending though from Mehmet Topal in particular, the holding midfield player. Spotted the run, didn't track the run for Benzema. Benzema nearly made him pay. Sensational effort though.
Mathieu gets it back off Banega, now with the Argentine again. Given away rather cheaply by Maduro. Another promising run from Kaká. And the shot forces the save out of Guaita. Full stretch to keep out the well-struck shot here from Canales.
He was a player that was so bright when he first came into the scene last year with Ratin. Great things expected of him. He hasn't had a lot of playing time this year, and it's hardly his fault. But we are seeing glimpses today already of the talent we saw in him last year, which meant that Real Madrid went and bought him, purchased his signature. Still very young, still looks a very young footballer.
20-year-old Canales with a corner. Defended well by Valencia, and the referee spotted an infringement in there. This is Canales' first start in a league game since the opening match of the season, that goalless draw at Mallorca. One of several goalless draws that have proved costly in Real Madrid's hopes of winning the La Liga title for the first time since 2008. Deportivo held them, so did Osasuna. They're carving holes in the Valencia defence, fed in by Higuain. Guaita's missed it, and Benzema scores for Real Madrid midway point of the first half. And you have to say, it had been coming.
Very much so. Real Madrid have had the entirely dominating the first 22 minutes. That's the third or fourth chance they have crafted from good attacking play, some shoddy defensive midfield play from Valencia, and it's all far too easy for Real Madrid to break through. As Guaita there makes the goalkeeping error, gives a chance to Karim Benzema, the two strikers linking up well. Higuain, Benzema eventually gets possession, takes a few touches, tries to find the gap, spots it just past Stankovicius on the goal line, plants it firmly into the back of the net.
The Frenchman's 22nd goal of the season, averaging a goal every 2 games prior to tonight. It's a marked improvement upon last season. He's had more opportunities, particularly when Higuain was out for 4.5 months with a back injury, and took his chance well, but again, errors in their defensive third from Valencia. And Unai Emery will be far from happy in what he's seen so far.
I think he's got the midfield trio, Maduro, Topal, Banega, and I think it's quite a defensive lineup from Valencia. And they're not giving protection, particularly to the 2 central defenders. People, players, Real Madrid players able to have time on the ball to find the pass. The movement's good from deep in particular. They need to fight back Valencia.
defending in the end by Nacho. To his confidence, no harm. Flassa will want a word, but no card produced for Benzema, who is coming together with Stankovic.
Majorly untoward about this challenge, so it's a striker just scored a goal. He's pumped up. He does catch Stankovic on the ankle, but it's definitely a free kick to Valencia. But it's good to see Benzema fighting back like that. To liven up Valencia. It's been an apprehensive start. They've been punished.
Eva Banega with a free kick for Valencia. Climbing highest was Garay, and then away by Diarra. Here's Mathieu. Hopeful one. And was left by Garay. And did he get a shout from Casillas? I don't think so.
You'd hope so, because no central defender should be making up his own mind then to allow that to go over his head, bounce. Casillas didn't seem to be remonstrating with the central defender, did he? I think if Casillas hadn't called, he would certainly let Garay know. So my guess is that Casillas did call for the ball and let Garay to let it bounce.
Here's Mata. Foul on Soldado. Recently became only the second Valencia player in the league to score 4 times in a single match, with all 4 goals and the 4-2 win away at Getafe. Very famous former footballer, was the only other player to score 4 times for Valencia in a league game. It's a little quiz question for you tonight. Give me the answer in a minute or two. Banega with a free kick. Sprung a little bit of freedom there. Couldn't take advantage via Topal. Wasn't a particularly good header. Given away by Miguel. Transformed early there by Diarra. Kaká onto the Benzema pass. Held up by Ricardo Costa. Nacho. Certainly seen a desire and a hunger about some of these fringe Real Madrid squad players. Just wondered whether Mourinho's 9 changes would bring out a number of players. Terry touched on it briefly at the start of commentary, that a lot of them will be looking to perhaps play their way into Mourinho's thinking for at least one of the Champions League semi-finals. Here's Mathieu.
Surprising aspect, Kevin, is they're showing more determination than the Valencia players. And I think that is because they know that there's some massive games coming up. 2 in particular, of course, against Barcelona in the Champions League. Suspensions, injuries might play a part, and they want to impress Jose Mourinho. A more determined outfit. The 3rd of this match so far.
Almost broke there for Benzema. Smothered away by Vicente Huita. Granero for Higuain. Real Madrid played without a recognised centre forward in the cup final on Wednesday, starting with 2 tonight. They have gifted possession here to Soldado. This is Pablo. Still Pablo. I think Casillas would have had it covered had it been on target, but an opening for sure for the home side.
Yep, and they're relying heavily on just the 3 attackers to try and do the business. Pablo, Mata, Soldado. This occasion it's Pablo with a near post effort, doesn't trouble Casillas. these Real Madrid players that have come in today, they're all good players that forged really good reputations elsewhere, haven't had playing time under Jose Mourinho, likes of Canales and Gallo in particular at Racing Santander. Nacional, we know all about him. Kaká, of course, needs no explanation, does it? A world-class performer when he's fit, firing on all cylinders. So this is still a strong lineup from Real Madrid.
Pablo back to Miguel. Mata, Miguel again. And it's a corner. Nice intricate passing from Valencia.
Deflection there, isn't it? Up into the arm of the Real Madrid defender, and the home supporters behind the goal, appealing.
Miguel's cross. Hit by Nacho. In goes Topal and Casillas.
See the ball ricochets up onto the arm of Carvalho.
Did strike his hand, but that would have been very harsh.
Never been a penalty.
No. That's a poor ball by Ricardo Costa. And Mature makes a good recovery there. Oh, he's made a mistake and Higuain's turned it in. Oh, the Frenchman looked like he got back to good effect, but then got it horribly wrong, and Higuain accepted the gift. Valencia 0, Real Madrid 2.
There's a catalogue of errors, was there? I think it's Ricardo Costa who initially makes the first error. Higuain, it's another attribute you need to be a world-class striker, and he is. Just don't give up. You know, if you think you missed an opportunity, keep going. You can see him there sharing his delight with his teammates on the bench. Just lacks a little bit of sharpness here where he hasn't been playing regularly. Mature gets the beat in terms of pace, gets there first. It's a complete mix-up between the keeper, Huita, Mature, but he can't afford just to take a little touch there. It has to be a heavy touch, clear it away from the danger area. Higuain can't believe his luck, sticks a foot in, and finds us again into the back of the net. Second goal for Real Madrid.
Well, that's the phrase, Terry, clear it out of the danger area. That's what the textbook will tell any defender in that situation. Don't involve the goalkeeper, didn't need to. Just got there and needed to get it out of harm's way, and Mature paid a heavy penalty for not doing so. Higuain keeps up his good goal-scoring record against Valencia, 6 goals in 8 appearances against them. In by Miguel. Real Madrid have had a good record here at the Mestalla lately. They were the only team to win here in the league last season. That match finished 3-2. Nice ball in from Mata, in goes Pablo. Very, very good challenge. I think it was from the rookie left-back Nacho who got across there. It was an important interception.
That's one of the many differences between the two teams so far, Kevin. They're better in defence, they're determined, they're better in midfield, and they've got strikers that are going to score goals.
In by Pablo, it's a good-looking cross. Stokovicius, who was well forward there, but easy take for Casillas. And Real Madrid attacking with some menace again here. Fed on by Canales for Kaká. Looking for a shooting position, there was none.
I think the worry, Kevin, is this is the team second place playing third, away from home, with a second string lineup, but it's still stronger than Valencia, their first choice lineup. We've seen it's much change. We look at Kaká, Gonzalo Higuain, Benzema, Asana Diarra, Guerrero, Canales. Very, very good players that will probably find a position in the Valencia team. So
Higuain, body language suggesting he was trying to pull out a challenge on Mature, but the referee has given a free kick. There was contact.
Again, not for the first time we're seeing the two strikers chasing back, working hard.
Nicely worked here by Pablo. Can't find the finish. But it was nicely worked. The little 1-2 caught Real Madrid napping there.
More like Valencia we usually see, isn't it? Pablo, after that 1-2, tries to curl it in towards the far post. Disappointment again for Unai Emery. We see a bright, vibrant Valencia, don't we? Particularly here at the Mestalla. I think that's where their problems lie. I don't think the heart of the defence is the strongest department in this squad. They're struggling to contain Higuain and Benzema at the moment.
And Ricardo Costa happy to hear the whistle. He didn't get the firmest of touches at stretch back to Guaita, but Higuain was penalised.
I guess the front two now, Kevin, are looking at filling their boots this afternoon. I think they both know they've got the better of Stankovic and Ricardo Costa. They're chasing everything. They're hungry for goals, Higuain and Benzema.
I haven't forgotten, by the way, about that quiz question I set you. Wonder if you managed to find the answer. I'll tell you who it was. The only other player to have scored 4 goals in a league game for Valencia after Saldado did it recently against Getafe. Told you it was a famous name, Mario Kempes. Man who won the World Cup with Argentina.
He was a player, by the way. He was brilliant.
And well done for all those who came up with the answer, particularly those who got it immediately without the need of a search engine. The internet's a great thing these days. Offside against Higuain. Looked lively, hungry of course after his lengthy absence.
Only just offside again. Midfield player allowed time on the ball to get his head up and find the pass. It lost count, Kevin, the amount of times Real Madrid have won possession back in terms of a 50-50 tackle challenge, particularly in the midfield area, and they're doing it with ease.
Higuain's expansive pass is absolutely perfect. It was a great touch of Benzema. And his shot is charged down bravely by Topal. Just happy to get something on that. What a pass from Higuain. Matched by the first touch from Benzema.
Yeah, and Miguel is feeling the effects in particular. I think Benzema twisted him in half almost there. I think he's still down injured. I'm not sure if Miguel wants to carry on. He's having a torrid time out there on the right back position for Valencia. Too determined there to carry on. His team are 2-0 down. They're getting a run around. Great pass from Higuain and technical levels again from Benzema.
Here's Mathieu for Valencia. 2 mistakes have cost them both goals, scored by Benzema and Higuain. Kaka. Benzema. Look at the gap he's found here. Still Benzema and Higuain. It must be 3, it is 3. Kaka helps himself to an easy goal. And they sliced Valencia apart. Benzema and Higuain, the providers this time. Kaka, a delighted scorer. 3-0 Real Madrid.
Yep, back four for Valencia, Kevin. Been taken to the cleaners. When you look at it, it's just not good enough. They can't deal with the players such as Higuain, Benzema, Kaka. It's so easy. Higuain with the just slide rule pass across to his teammate Kaka. Again, left completely unmarked. And it's no mistake with the finish. We saw this much changed lineup, didn't we, from Real Madrid? We wondered what their attitude would be. They're having the time of their life this afternoon. Valencia's back four can't deal with the pace and skill of the Real Madrid attack.
The Valencia defence that used to be renowned in Spanish football. Remember the days when Ayala was in his prime? Not many got past, but they have been a shambles back there. Casillas making a good stop. Referee not moved to give a penalty. Tell you what, he took up a great position there, Perez, to give himself the opportunity to say no. But the space this man Benzema ran into to create that third goal was just simply astonishing. They melted away in midfield. Belated birthday present for Kaká, who turned 29 yesterday. 3 separate injuries have kept him out of games against Valencia since he pitched up here in Spain. Here's Benzema, could be 4. Guaita happy to beat that one away. You have to remember that Benzema's also hit the woodwork in this first half. It's a stunned Mestalla. Don't often see their side taken apart like this in this stadium.
It's a stunning performance, Kevin. Second v third. Valencia have been in great form, 12 goals in the last 3 matches, 3 straight wins. So they are scoring goals for fun. And there's such a difference in class between these two teams. As I said, the back four individually for Valencia are not good enough to cope with the attackers of Real Madrid. Collectively they're not. There are shambles at the back at the moment. Not getting a lot of protection from midfield. Look at this much changed lineup. Was at 65 million euros for Kaká. A ton of money again for Benzema, Higuain, Canales, Diarra, Granero, Garay, Albiol. It's this, you know, their squad has cost a lot more, even this lineup tonight, to assemble than the starting lineup for Valencia.
Well, I've had a helping hand or two, but you can't take anything away from this Real Madrid performance. It has been excellent. Here's Miguel. Drop here for Mature, no. This is a well-timed run, clearly onside. Chance here for Kaká, and it'll be 4. No mistake at all. Higuain gets his second goal of the evening. And where was the Valencia defence? Well, even Mourinho won't be able to believe this.
He'll be so pleased. This will give him food for thought. Clearly there's a feel-good factor spread right throughout the squad. Because of the performance of late against Barcelona, the Copa del Rey Cup final win. Every player wants to play a part in the remainder of the season. And at the risk of repeating myself, they're tearing this defence to shreds. Kaká again, it's almost a replica of the last goal. Kaká this time into Higuain. Last time it was Higuain landing on a plate for Kaká. I said they want to fill their boots. All 3 of the strikers want to continue scoring goals. At the moment we're averaging a goal for Real Madrid every 10 minutes.
Well, from Valencia's point of view, you have to be looking now and thinking that Unai Emery's going to have to act here and make a tactical switch or two, because they've just been completely outclassed. Here's Mata.
He's not going to be able to get his team back into the game. That's gone now, so can he limit the damage? We know his job is always in question. I think he's done a superb job here. Valencia improved year on year out, and again they're going to finish in 3rd place this season. But it doesn't do you any favours when you're crashing 4-0 down at home against Real Madrid. Against the Real Madrid that's left out the likes of Ronaldo and such. So I'm not sure, Kevin, looking at him from a coach's point of view, what he can do to change this. He's gone with a solid defensive midfield trio, maybe El Belder, but
Adari, second striker, and just trying to attack Real Madrid, attack the best form of a hapless defence.
Which, I mean, to leave another take a midfield player that's meant to be protecting this back four.
But they're not, so he may as well
exactly
stick another striker on. It's not all about the back four. Blink in disbelief, that is the scoreline. Real Madrid now go hungrily in search of a fifth. And this time, the defending is assured from Mathieu. Blood emanating from the mouth of Benzema. 4-0 down, Valencia. Not in any mood to get this ball out, not in any great hurry. Benzema to his feet. Pablo. Banega. Deflection kind to Real Madrid. Problem for Carvalho.
He's just worn out, Kevin. I think so. His 250th appearance of the season. Seems to play every match that Real Madrid play. Throws himself there to block the shot.
Can Valencia give themselves a lift just ahead of half-time? So many players forward for the corner. Look at Real Madrid on the counter-attack here. And Higuain couldn't quite take it in his stride, but almost had a 4-on-2 for a moment there. And just listen to what the Valencia players think about this first 45 minutes. Taken apart, 2 goals from Higuain, 1 each for Benzema and Kaká. And how much more damage will Real Madrid wreak before the evening is out? 4-0. Valencia coach Unai Emery offered these words up before kick-off tonight. I think it's more dangerous to us that the substitutes are playing for Real Madrid as opposed to the first choice 11. I think he got it right, didn't he?
Benny Wishenda said that. These team have been in great form coming into this match, but there's been a huge difference in class between these two teams in the first half. And obviously Real Madrid running away a bit at the moment. 4-0 deficit for Unai Emery's Valencia team to try and restore some pride in the second half. This is the third place team, been in good form in La Liga, playing into the second string Real Madrid 11. Let's not forget it does include the likes of Kaká, Higuain, Benzema, Ricardo Carvalho, Lozano, Diarra. Just goes to show how strong this Real Madrid squad is.
Quick start to the second half from Valencia in stark contrast to the first. And it needed an intervention to produce the first corner of this second period. Well, remember Newcastle Arsenal earlier in the season? Anything's possible. Terry Gibson has just given me a look that didn't need any words. It just simply said, no chance.
They have to improve dramatically in every department of the team. The attack wasn't given much service and supply, in fairness. Pablo, Soldado and Mata in the first half. The midfield just didn't compete. Banega, Maduro, Topal. The back four, I have to say, just can't deal with the threat from the Real Madrid attacking players. So you mentioned just before half-time, Kevin, attack is probably the best form of defence for Valencia. They certainly come out in the opening couple of minutes of the first half, albeit 4-0 down and probably too late. Playing with a bit more purpose. At last, Soldado get the delivery into the box. You can see us there just making sure his teammates start off in the right frame of mind. He'll be looking to keep another clean sheet.
Unai Emery could easily have made his 3 permitted substitutes at the interval, but he's sent out the 11 that have got Valencia into this mess to try and claw back a little bit of pride. It's certainly dented after that first 45 minutes, and it wouldn't have flattered Real Madrid, in all honesty, to have gone in 6-0 up with a break.
That's the problem, that why I would say that I don't imagine a comeback to be on the cards is because Real Madrid, when they attack, look like scoring it every time they cross the halfway line. They look like scoring a goal, creating a chance, and I still think that will continue in the second half.
It's another corner for Valencia. Pablo Hernandez to take. Real Madrid haven't cleared it yet, and then one big right boot sent it spinning up towards Higuain. His touch was really good. Benzema able to pick out Higuain. Pablo. This is Mata. Real Madrid thought the ball had gone out. Play on, says the referee. Here's Ever Banega. Fed on by Topal. Back to him via Mathieu. Topal forced into a hasty pass. This is a far cry from Valencia's last home game when they thrashed Villarreal 5-0. That scoreline raised a few eyebrows, as indeed will this one. Not to say that Real Madrid weren't fancied to win, but to be 4-0 up at the break against the side traditionally strong at home certainly falls into take you by surprise category. That's well timed. No, not quite. Pablo sees the flag up against him. Casillas wasn't aware of what was happening touch side, so that goes down as a good save.
It's a good move from Pablo, and you called it right, Kevin. It was well timed. It appears that it was the case. Casillas wasn't to know, was he? And he gets himself out, spreads himself at the feet of Pablo Hernandez. That would be a steely determination between Casillas and Carvalho that was spread amongst the back four of Real Madrid to try and keep a clean sheet. Valencia starting the second half in a much better frame of mind. And hopefully we'll see some chances and shots at goal from the likes of Soldado and Mata, Pablo. We certainly didn't get the supply in the first half. And probably those three exempt from any criticism that came the way of the Valencia starting 11 in that first 45 minutes.
Soldado blocked by Nacho, who's had a very comfortable time of it on his full league debut. Ricardo Costa. Just feel that Valencia have to stay on the front foot, have to find their best game, because this crowd is turned on them already, and there's plenty more venom heading down from the stands at the Mestalla if they don't get an early goal or two in this second half. And just listen to them now.
They'll be really bitterly disappointed with the attitude. It's a massive game for the Valencia supporters. Real Madrid and Barcelona, when they come to the Mestalla, they want their teams put up a fight. They want to knock the top dogs out of their place, put them in their position and really have a go at them, and Valencia didn't do that in the first half.
This is Kaká. Gets away from Miguel with ease, and it's 5! And it's a hat-trick for the delighted Gonzalo Higuain, set up by Kaká. And the latest Real Madrid goal, very much in keeping with what we saw with the goals in the first half.
It's one attack, it's been 7 minutes of attacking play from Valencia. 1 minute, 20 seconds of attacking play from Real Madrid. It talks about the individual play of the Valencia defence. Miguel there can't cope at all with Kaka. Higuain not picked up in the 6-yard box. Ricardo Costa in particular gets dragged towards the ball. It's just far too easy for the quality players that Real Madrid possess.
Well, some are leaving early. Frankly, you can't blame them. We might be getting the record books out pretty soon for heaviest home league defeats for Valencia.
Well, we had an 8-0, didn't we, this year? Maria at home to Barcelona, and we didn't think that would be surpassed. Would you have thought that tonight? Valencia, Real Madrid. Well, we saw the lineups of the two teams, full strength Valencia, maybe missing the likes of Bruno and Tino Costa out through injury. But the rest of the players were available to be selected. We see the changes for Real Madrid. Young Nacho there taking the throw in. 5-0, as we said, it's a goal every 10 minutes. It has been right throughout the game.
Cut out well by Carvalho. Here's Mathieu. Miguel. In by Banega. Not a particularly good header that from Albiol, former Valencia player. He'll be very happy to be on the right team, as it were, tonight. Good hold-up play there by Benzema. They tried to spring Higuain.
Both centre forwards, Kevin, have the ability just to, when their team are defending, talk about Real Madrid's centre forwards, obviously Gonzalo Higuain and Karim Benzema. When Real Madrid are defending, they just drift into positions where they know they're free. They find space. And they know that when the Real Madrid players win the ball back, get possession back, they have the ability to find that movement, find that pass into the strikers. Ricardo Costa and Stankovic in particular down the centre of defence. There's nothing they could do. They just can't cope against those two strikers, add on Canales and Kaka. There's not an awful lot the back four of Valencia can do.
Mathieu. It's easy for Casillas. Well, as we stand, this will be Valencia's heaviest ever home league defeat. Previous worst were two 5-1 setbacks. Athletic Bilbao in 1933 and Real Madrid as recently as October 2007. But they don't come close to a 10-3 worst ever away league defeat against Sevilla back in 1940. But unless they do something about the current scoreline, these Valencia players of 2011 are going into the record books for very much the wrong reasons.
Banega there. There's more this attitude from Valencia. They shouldn't give up. Go down with them if Jose Mourinho decides to look to the bench. One or two players there. We know Ronaldo's desperate for the Pachichi award. He must be sitting there licking his lips at the moment thinking, please let me on.
Surely even Mourinho couldn't be as dark as that, could he? Probably. Here's Banega. Did try his best to get the shot in to trouble more Casillas than otherwise he was. And had to be movement on the Valencia bench. Going to see the Brazilian international Jonas, who is a striker. It's a really good steal. And offside, won't count. Higuain would like a fourth, but Benzema was flagged offside.
It's a good steal back again, wasn't it, from Guinera, Maduro. It's a very close call. The Valencia defenders are not playing offside. They're caught flat-footed. It's the missed time of the run from Benzema. Just held his run a little bit longer, he'd have been in there.
Good ball by Maduro. Soldado denied by an ever-alert Iker Casillas. Form he's been in lately, 7 goals in the last 3 games. You suspected that might be hitting the back of the Real Madrid net. Casillas had other ideas. Corner work short. Miguel. No touch on its way out. Goal kick to Real Madrid.
Is it leaning offside? Gonzalo Higuain might be offside in the middle as well. But that doesn't count, it's the run of Benzema.
Off comes Pablo to be replaced by Joaquin. And we're going to see the aforementioned Jonas as well. Pablo not best pleased at all to have been, but actually I thought he was the best of a very bad bunch. Actually, Pablo Hernandez Maduro has been replaced by Jonas. At least Pablo had shown a little bit of attitude to try and create something going forward for Valencia. I think he can feel a bit aggrieved to have been hauled off there by Emery.
He's got one or two dangerous crosses. He's made some good darting runs across the Real Madrid defence to try and get on the end of a pass or two.
Mathieu. First involvement for Jonas is a telling one. Tucked away beautifully by Soldado. What an introduction for Jonas. Brilliant first touch to get in the space, and then Soldado finished like a striker in form.
So a good turn of pace, wasn't it, from Jonas? Like the definitive finish from Soldado at the near post. You said a player full of confidence. Prods it with power on the outside of the right foot. Past Casillas, no clean sheet for Real Madrid. No clean sheet for Iker Casillas. Good determined play from Valencia. And they get a little bit of reward.
The comeback is on.
I was really trying hard not to say that.
You're excused. But at least it's only the equal worst ever home league defeat. Trust me, there's more goals in this. Half an hour to go.
I hope so. It's such an open game. Look at the timing, the time that the Real Madrid player had to get his head up and find a pass. No reason why Kaká should have been offside. Just so much space for those attacking players to run into.
Here's Mata. Mathieu. Banega. Granero has stolen it well here for Real Madrid. Options left and right. Option right is onside. Higuain, he can play in. Benzema just out of his stride. Still alive here though for Real Madrid. Kaká. Oh, brilliantly done. Magnificent goal. A wonderful goal from Kaká. And the stooge to the brilliance, Stankovic.
There's a Real Madrid to try and beat Barcelona, isn't there? And then there's a Real Madrid like this that are full-flowing. They're fantastic to watch. Great individual players. Kaká there just leaves Stankovic, all ends up. I could see what he was going to do. I thought he was going to try and curl it in towards the far post, but I had an idea, a little inkling that he might go for the little nutmegs. Stankovic tries to block. Look at that. Wonderful play from a player who looks to be really enjoying his football. I noticed the other night, Kevin, although he didn't play a part in that cup final win, how the squad was together, and him in particular was delighted with the win. He's delighted to be playing today. He's helped himself to 2 goals, some assists. Looks to be in top form.
And on a cautionary note, Mourinho has stiffened the midfield. Xabi Alonso on for Canales.
Why he's done that, I don't know, because it's risking Xabi Alonso. Canales hasn't played much football, and I'm really enjoying watching him play again, but he's given him an hour.
Yep.
He just doesn't want us getting carried away with the fact that Real Madrid are playing silky football, technical level superb, great individual performances, and he has to put a dampener on it. No, I'm joking, Jose Mourinho. Pepe will be on next, don't worry about that. Knocking a few bodies over in centre midfield to try and hang on to this 6-1 lead.
Free kick earned by Joaquin, as well as seeing Kaká enjoying the celebrations in this stadium on Wednesday. How the Real Madrid players celebrated with their coach as well, tossing Mourinho several times high into the night air in Valencia. And you could see a bomb there too at the end of that cup final. Joaquin get hold of the volley. Benzema losing out. Taken on by Soldado. Here's Mata. Soldado just couldn't gather it in. No, this team hasn't played together really. They're thrown in. I mean, we know that they're not Ronaldo, please.
Tracksuit bottoms, no.
But we know they're class players, Terry. You've said that, but you know, sometimes even top players, as we look at Jonas setting up the lone Valencia goal, they take a little time to gel together. But you know, it looks like this team has been playing all season long for Real Madrid.
Yep, fantastic individual talent, isn't there? We talk about the changes, but Higuain and Benzema played a lot of football this year. It's great to see Higuain back from injury.
One mistake by Mathieu, and they're in again. Surely, no, not this time. Benzema tried to, rather Higuain tried to be too cute in setting up his strike partner, but he really selfishly could have been expected to go for goal number 4 for him.
How many times have we seen that Valencia defence breached, and you just know it just needs a roll across the 6-yard box or a penalty spot for someone to tap in. It was that exactly the same again. Good spirit amongst the Real Madrid attackers, trying to provide each other with assists. It's a great game to watch, isn't it? I know it's going to be coming towards the end of the season. There's not a lot of pressure on it, but from a technical skill level, absolutely superb.
More skill from Jonas. Couldn't get his shot away. Real Madrid defended it well in the end. Not without some discomfort. It's the youngster Nacho who's down.
That's just wicked, isn't it?
That is Jose Mourinho is an assassin. That's the nickname now after tonight. He's going to bring Cristiano Ronaldo on. Probably Ronaldo's been in his ear most of the night,
chewing it off after about 10 minutes when he saw the state of this Valencia back 4.
Ronaldo's saying to his coach, look, I can win the Pichichi tonight. I can come on and get 4 or 5 goals before this evening is out. Such has been the ease with which they cut through the Valencia defence.
They've still got time for a hat-trick. And that's not me taking liberties, it's just that every time Real Madrid are attacking, they're creating a chance, and great chances as well. You see the goal from Higuain, I think it was the second one, that was the real start of the nightmare for Valencia.
That was the second. Kaká set up his hat-trick goal in the second half. Good night's work for Gonzalo Higuain. Just the 42 goals this season off the bench in the shape of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Joking aside though, Kevin, I still don't understand the need to risk Xabi Alonso, Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, they want to do well, they want to play well, but you know, injuries can happen. I know they can happen in training, but there's no need for those 2 players to come on this evening. Canales could have played the rest of the game, and it would have been good to see him play the full 90 minutes. Perhaps Higuain coming back from injury might be one that you might consider changing. We've got Pedro laying on the bench, who has barely played all season. I just find it surprising that 1 or 2 risks are being taken by Jose Mourinho, and there's clearly no need.
First leg of the Champions League semi-final is in Madrid. this coming Wednesday. And a hard tie to call, that's for sure. But one of the big two in Spain will be at Wembley in May to face Manchester United, or the surprise semi-finalists Schalke, who include a certain Raúl in their ranks. I wonder.
It just wouldn't surprise you, would it? Football has a great sense of timing, doesn't it, sometimes? And I thought Raúl disappeared off to Schalke. Won't be seeing too much of him again, but scoring goals for fun in the Champions League this year, increasing his goals tally in that competition in Europe in general. Down to the last four, he's in it. Schalke and Real Madrid still in it.
If he were to score the winning goal against Real Madrid in the final at Wembley, that is a film in the making.
And you'd retire. You'd have to retire.
Yes, there's nowhere to go after that.
Not for him anyway. He's got every record going, hasn't he? Yeah. For club, country. Well, actually, no, De Rivera's taken that off him. Certainly Champions League, European club goals.
There's some great football before that comes to fruition. And you'll be watching it unfold, of course, on Sky Sports. Brief shot of Pedro Leon warming up. On the outside, looking in, since his €10 million move from Getafe. Promising for a moment for Valencia, appeals for handball. Arms raised everywhere amongst the Valencia players. Referee Tarek Lassa says no. Ronaldo, chance to stretch his legs. Benzema. Eventually lost the compass there, although the initial challenger two were just token ones from hopelessly outclassed Valencia. We have to remind ourselves this is virtually a full strength Valencia side. Who'd be missing from it? Tino Costa?
Yep, I think he's the only player. Maybe Bruno up right back ahead of Miguel. That's debatable. It's a strong bench. 1-3 on the trot, scored 12 goals. As you said a couple of games ago, we're defeating Villarreal 5-0. Carvalho still tackling as if his life depends on it. He's blocking shots. This is a shout for handball. So Mata plays the ball into the box, and Albiol maybe connects his arm. Is it outstretched? It's trying to keep it close to his body.
Mata with the Valencia free kick. Just got away from Topal. Pedro Leon is going to emerge from the shadows. It's been a long, long time since we've seen him in the Real Madrid side. Foul on Granero.
If he's the player that's being replaced, he's looking across to the bench. Gets caught in possession, probably for the first time tonight in the midfield area. Bonega. Jose Mourinho has this ability to get his players so on side with him, whatever club he's been at, whether it's Porto, Chelsea, Inter Milan, to do as they're told, basically, to play the way that he wants them to play in certain games, in order to get results, in order to win trophies. And you can't help but admire that. We saw Samueto last year playing almost in a right-back position for Inter Milan. He wouldn't have done that for Barcelona. He wouldn't even played in a wide right attacking position. But Jose Mourinho somehow last year got him to play almost as a right-back, sitting deep. And he He did it for the cause. They were successful. He's doing exactly the same now at Real Madrid.
Jonas showing some good skill again. Drops kindly for Kaká. It's a brilliant pass. Waiter quickly out to meet Ronaldo. Well, they're not declaring at 6. Ronaldo has been fouled. Rubs a sore knee and will likely take charge of the free kick.
Yep, Banega, frustrated tackle there, wasn't it? Just that little 1-2 played round him. He was going to make the challenge, come what may.
Ronaldo has moved away, the angle favouring the left foot of Granero. I'll repeat that for you again. Ronaldo has moved away from a free kick. Of course, he scored the all-important goal with his head, the only goal of the cup final here on Wednesday at this end of the ground. And able to get his head on that one. But it is a Real Madrid corner. Pedro Leon has played less than 2 hours of league football so far this season. It'll be his 6th appearance from the substitutes bench. And will come on to replace Ezequiel Garay, midfielder for a defender, which Real Madrid of course can well afford.
Jose probably did a 15-minute risk assessment before making this positive substitution. But joking aside, it's been a fantastic performance by Real Madrid, and food for thought for Jose in terms of team selection.
Nacho to strike. Moved on to that well, the 20-year-old. Shot always rising. But we have joked about this performance, Terry, and the ease with which they played. From Valencia's point of view, how damaging for the rest of the season. Looks like they're going to keep their noses ahead of Villarreal. They've got a tough match this weekend away to Sevilla, but were they to win in Andalusia, the gap would be only 3 points for the third automatic Champions League place.
Yep, no, I think it could be damaging, Kevin. And I think it's a bit of an alarm call, I think, to Valencia as a football club who haven't invested a lot of money in recent times in players. Banega, I'm guessing, is probably their last big purchase when it comes to splashing out the cash. I think it's 15 million euros now, and it's his 3rd season here. They've picked up a few free transfers, particularly in defence, but I think they need long-term after this result to see the difference in class between them and the top 2 in particular. And I think they have to start spending some money on some quality defensive players. They don't have that at the moment. Mature was a free transfer, Bruno from Almeria was a free transfer, Ricardo Costa and Stankovic on loan from Sampdoria, so you need to invest in some decent defenders.
It's going to take an almighty collapse from Barcelona to mean that Real Madrid are going to win the title in Jose Mourinho's first season, but they still have an outside hope of the treble, having already taken the Copa del Rey. The gap in a little under a quarter of an hour will be down to 5 points ahead of Barcelona's home game against Osasuna, and that will be on the way for you in full from the Camp Nou.
With regard to Valencia's last fixtures, Osasuna, Real Sociedad, Espanyol, Levante, Deportivo La Coruña, they will probably be able to recover. They are clearly better than the rest of the division, apart from Real Madrid and Barcelona, and that gap is too big at the moment.
Yep, has to be said, too big for comfort. Spanish clubs are trying to do something about that. They've had some talks about a more fair distribution of money, where most of it goes to Barcelona and Real Madrid, and they're looking for a penalty. Albiol was the defender, and Soldado not getting the decision his way. Ronaldo's header on, easy for Guaita. Was this a penalty?
Yes. I think it's one that the referee could easily have given, probably should have given. Yes, of course it is. We saw Albiol punished last week, didn't we, for a similar offence against David Villa. He has to learn. You can't manhandle opposing strikers in the 18-yard box. Poor defending on both counts, last week's and that one. I think at 6-1 the referee might have just looked upon that favourably towards Valencia and given them the spot kick.
Here's Joaquin. Shots on here for Banega. Disappointing effort from the Argentine, Ever Banega. Just got to be a little bit of concern for Mourinho that Albiol is getting himself caught in these positions and looking ill at ease.
Just looks at it, the director showed us the pictures of Albiol, then Carvalho, who's going to be suspended in midweek against Barcelona. Slight cause of concern. Of course, Jose Mourinho would love to have his trusted central defender of Carvalho at the heart of his defence, but he hasn't. I don't know how he's going to shift around that back four. Perhaps Ramos might go to central defence. Of course, Pepe has been playing in midfield, so...
Well, as you said earlier, it'd be a real surprise if Pepe's moved from his holding midfield role. So if Ramos does play, then it'll be a toss-up between Albiol and Garay. I can't see him going with Ramos and Garay, frankly. Albiol with more experience.
I just wonder where Pepe might go back now Lasama Diarra is fit to come in and do a similar job in midfield.
Maybe.
That's another option.
Yeah. There'll be a lot of interest ahead of both team selections in the match at the Bernabeu on Wednesday.
Well, Khedira looks like he's going to be out injured, so...
That's neatly done. And it's a second goal for Valencia. Jonas took that away beautifully, set up by the captain Mata. Real Madrid have stepped off the pace, and with 10 minutes to go, it's merely Valencia 2, Real Madrid 6.
It's a tidy finish, wasn't it? He had the assist for the first goal for Soldado, who could have caught a defending from Valencia. Great attacking play. That's what we used to see him from Valencia, isn't it? Mata, as always, involved in all the good attacking play. Great awareness, good skill. The reverse little flick inside into the path of Jonas. And a really tidy finish. Looks sharp since he's came on.
Looks a good prospect, doesn't he? Saw him briefly. You may have seen that Brazil-Scotland international friendly at the Emirates. He came off the bench to win his first full cap. He's 27. Had a good reputation in his native Brazil, and that is his second goal in La Liga. Corner to Real Madrid. Jordi Alba about to come on for Valencia. Oh, Terry was talking about the risk on bringing Ronaldo on. Could easily have picked up a nasty injury there. He's holding his left wrist. That was an awkward fall. That might have produced a heart flutter or two for Mourinho.
Just 96 million euros worth of talent, wasn't it? His price has probably gone up since Real Madrid bought him from Manchester United. You can't protect him in every game he plays, but with Barcelona and Champions League just around the corner, I think I would have protected him tonight.
Straight swap at left back. Jordi Alba for Jeremy Mathieu. Doesn't appear to be any lasting damage there for Ronaldo. I've seen players fall like that before and at least sprain a wrist, if not break a wrist. A Real Madrid challenge to Barcelona minus Ronaldo is unthinkable in the Champions League two-leg semi. And here he is in full stride. Surely going to take this all on his own, but held up well, Stankovic. He's had a pretty torrid time of it tonight, at least held his ground well there.
Just looking at maybe a problem for Kaka there, he's run over to the bench. Not sure if he's receiving treatment, changing his footwear.
That's what it is. Here's Joaquin. Miguel. Mata. Looks for the return, Juan Mata. The player surprisingly let go by Real Madrid on a free transfer. He was in the Real Madrid B team that were relegated in the 2006-07 season. And the story went that Real Madrid lost focus on his terms on his contract, didn't realise it was running out. Valencia were clued in and stepped in and bought him on a free. What an acquisition that's turned out to be. Mata's clever pass, and they're in here, Valencia. It's another goal. Jordi Alba helps himself to a goal just a minute or so after coming on. Casillas left dumbfounded as to how he's conceded 3 goals here. A 9-goal blitz at the Mestalla.
I thought you were going to say thriller then. But we have 5 or 6 minutes left. Pride is being restored slowly but surely by Valencia. Beats the offside trap, good first touch. And Mata involved heavily. Dinks it past Casillas, 6-3. 3-6 now to Real Madrid.
Here's Ronaldo looking for Benzema. Well, you'd normally, Terry, look at a scoreline like this and be talking in thriller terms, but the nature of the match means it hasn't been that. But in terms of entertainment, well, they've had their money's worth. Certainly those with the allegiance for Real Madrid, who were close to conceding a 4th. They still might. Jonas denied twice by Casillas.
He's made such a difference, isn't he, Jonas? One more would certainly liven this up, make it really interesting. I laughed at you, Kevin, you said the comeback was on at 5-1, then it went 6-1, and all of a sudden, you know, Valencia scored at 6-4 with 5 minutes to go, plus injury time. I've never commentated on a 6-all.
Oh, me neither. Mata, Joaquin. Last touch off Miguel. Mourinho won't be happy with what he's seen in the last few minutes. It's almost a part of the human nature when you're 6-1 up, just to relax and save some legs for those that will be involved. And how many of these will be against Barcelona next Wednesday? Got to hand it to Valencia, outclassed virtually all evening. But they fought back well here, and it won't be, I don't think now, the heaviest ever home league defeat.
Just the shuffle around, wasn't there, for the back four? It was caused 1 or 2 issues and problems for Real Madrid, and Luciano Diarra now playing at right back. In the back four alongside Carvalho, and Albiol gone into central, Nacho down with cramp at the moment, left back position. No, you have to give credit to Valencia. They didn't compete in the first half in terms of midfield. The defence couldn't cope with the attacking play of Real Madrid. But the attackers have kept at it right throughout the game, Kevin. We talked about Pablo as a threat. He was really trying hard and being determined. Soldado has got on the score sheet. Jonas has been a big improvement since he came on, and Mata, as always, has been lively.
Well, looks like Real Madrid might have to play the remaining few minutes with 10 men. Nacho with a cramp, which is really troubling him. He looks in quite a bit of pain there. And he'll remember his full league debut, that's for sure. Mourinho getting the latest medical report on Nacho. Mata. Jonas, again a handful. And he's going to book the Brazilian referee, Perez Lassa, for a dive.
I'll tell you what, there was that earlier penalty shout, wasn't it? It should have been a penalty against Albion. That might have made it 6-4. Be interesting to see a replay of this. I'm clutching at straws, I know.
Well, keep it going, Terry. You'll
Not a
get there.
Valencia fan. And he has dived there, the referee gets that right.
I know what you mean, though.
Just trying to get the viewers to stick with it right through to the end. Just 3 goals needed from Valencia in just 90 seconds plus injury time. I saw Jose Mourinho's face when he was told then that the young boy Nacho had cramp. It was almost straight away when he can go back on. If it's not an injury, he can get himself back on. He's feeling tired, he's feeling tired. They can't go down to 10 men, and he wants him back on. He wants to see the young boy show some character, and he has done exactly that.
Here's Miguel. Topal. Banega. And the Valencia fans expect to see another goal from their team. We're in the 90th minute. They have a corner. And those 2 gifts for the 2 opening Real Madrid goals looking very costly now. We would have been looking at a thrilling finale had it not been for those. Miguel gifting Real Madrid a throw with 3 added on minutes to go.
Certainly Jose would have loved what he saw for the first hour. As you did say, Kevin, it's difficult when you're that many goals ahead to keep your foot on the throttle and go right to the very last minute. They haven't been the same in attack for the last 20 minutes or so. The urgency isn't there, it isn't required. Valencia nicked a goal or 2 back and restored some pride, but certainly for that first hour, Jose would have been delighted to have seen the talent that he has at his disposal in defence, in midfield, in attack. The squad looks in great shape for the last bit of the season.
And beyond, Terry, for next season, if, as we fully expect, Mourinho stays around with this deep squad, young squad in the main, what factors does that bring into play in terms of Barcelona going for what we fully expect to be a 4th successive La Liga title?
Exactly, it's going to get closer and closer. It's what we love to see, it's what we want to see. You know, 2 of the best teams, 2 of the best teams in the world, biggest clubs in the world, best coaches, got the best players.
Here's Benzema looking for his hat-trick. Not too far away.
It makes fantastic viewing, Kevin. It's intriguing, it's fascinating to watch. 2 big uns going head to head. Benzema, again, you talk about your players of good age, the likes of Benzema, Ozil, Khedira. They've been purchased in the last couple of seasons.
It's going to make it very interesting to see how Guardiola goes about the summer transfer market. He knows that he hasn't got the depth of squad that Real Madrid enjoy. Yes, he's got some good young players coming through. It's almost criminal to talk about Real Madrid not having top-class young talent coming through, but there's Soldado with a volleyed opportunity. Difficult technique to perfect that. And he can't afford next season, Guardiola, to rely on too many youngsters, and wouldn't be at all surprised to see them splash the cash on at least 3 experienced players.
Yep, Guardiola knows there's a challenge there. Looks like they're going to win the league this season, but they have to keep an improving and ambitious Real Madrid at bay. They have to respond.
Joaquin. Final seconds being played out here. Shot in the arm for Villarreal and their hopes to get 3 points at Sevilla to close the gap on third place Valencia to just 3 points. Real Madrid have closed the gap on Barcelona to 5 points. A truly startling night's football at the Mestalla. Well, that wasn't dull and boring, was it? I won't have time to go through all the goal scorers. The highlight on the score sheet though for Real Madrid, that hat-trick for Gonzalo Higuain. Valencia 3, Real Madrid 6.
Great exercise in maintaining high confidence in the Real Madrid camp for Jose Mourinho's troops ahead of that Champions League semi-final to come in midweek. Table looks like this then on the back of that game. Real Madrid 5 points behind Barcelona. Valencia of course still have 63 points. They need one more win from their remaining 5 games to guarantee a place in the top 4. They have to go to Osasuna, Espanyol and Deportivo La Coruña. Their home games remaining are Real Sociedad and Levante.